Good evening. We will be ripping off some best ball drafts on drafters tonight, as you guys can see over here. Here. And we're going to be ripping off some best ball drafts over on drafters. So if you guys are new here, drop a like and subscribe, and let's talk some ball. All right. So we are going to be ripping some drafts over on drafters.com tonight. Previously to my last stream, if you guys hadn't heard, over on Twitch, which is in the description down below. If you guys want to check that out, make sure y'all go check it out. But in the meantime, I wanted to let y'all know I did get a partnership with drafters.com. So if you guys want, this stream is sponsored to you by Drafters. If you use the code in the description below, you will be getting a deposit match up to 100% match. And they will be helping me out as well as you guys. So that'd be greatly appreciated if you guys do sign up for Drafters. And it seems like a really good platform for what I've seen. Pretty easy to win some money on. And I've won a little bit of money on here myself from the previous best ball season. I really didn't get to do a whole lot of drafts on here because I went really heavy on Underdog. But as you can see, we have about 15 teams or so into this $2 contest. And you see there's a $2 contest and a $20 contest. I'm sure we will be seeing a $5 contest added into the pool very, very soon. You can do fast drafts, slow drafts, whatever your heart desires. NBA, there's also pick'ems on here, so you can do pick'ems as well. MLB, WNBA, PGA, tennis, MMA, soccer, NFL, NBA, whatever your little heart desires, you can do that on Drafters. Use code in the description below. And yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and rip a $2 best ball tournament, as we see here. We do have 2 people in the lobby, so if y'all want to join up, you can as well. But anyway, so as of right now, we do have a sleeper draft going on as well. This is my first Devi League. So I'm going to kind of join in here and show y'all what the board looks like so far. As you can see, my team is here. We have Malik Neighbors, Jalen Hurts, and Brian Thomas to start. A pretty solid start, I must say. I gave away my third and my fifth to get Neighbors, and I got an 11th round back. Not too bad, I must say. I'm pretty happy about that start. Puka Nacua falling all the way to the 209 in this draft. I'll keep you guys updated on that. We might do a rookie mock draft a little bit later for dynasty lovers out there. I don't know if I haven't decided yet if I want to make that a separate show or if I want to continue to do, kind of combining the two. We'll see. But for now, we are definitely going to be doing best ball tonight. At the very least, we're going to rip a couple drafts tonight. And yeah, we're going to at least, like I said, going forward, at least twice a week on Drafters. And see kind of where it goes from there. Underdog, I don't know how much I'm going to do Underdog, just to recap a little bit on Underdog as well, because I do want to recap a little bit on there. I did do a draft with Dynasty Nation, I believe, and it was the Greyhound Room. I did end up going with a 2673 build. And you can see here, we're going to go ahead and just allow it. That's fine. You can see we kind of sort of have the board here. I'll pull it up to where it's a bigger screen. I had the 5-hole. I ended up with CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Trey McBride. Trey McBride had a big value here. Just take the value where it falls in some of these rooms. You get Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott as your 2 QBs. You hope that Hunter Henry and Trey McBride is enough. And then you take Noah Gray as hopefully a spike week kind of guy. Because if you can get some weeks out of him, that's kind of what your hope is for this last round, in my opinion, is you're hoping for a guy to get you at least a couple weeks potentially on the board. And if one of those weeks happens to be McBride's bye week or Henry isn't as good and McBride kind of is injured or something, then maybe Noah Gray can get you by. That's the hope. Didn't think I'd be spending that much time to start the top of the show here with that, but started CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Trey McBride, DJ Moore, Alvin Kamara, Quinshon Judkins, David Montgomery, Kyler Murray, Travis Etienne, Dak Prescott, Marvin Mims, Jack Beck, Cedric Tillman, Romeo Doubs, Hunter Henry, Blake Corum, Dylan Sampson, and Noah Gray. Really hoping this foursome here of running backs can carry me. We'll see. But that's kind of the hope and the belief is that 4 right there is going to be good enough to get me through the season. Montgomery is usually a pretty safe floor. I know that usually in best ball you don't want to go with floors, but in this contest it is only a 6,300 person contest and it is a single entry. So if you get through your pod, you're making your money back. So that's kind of the goal here, is to get through the pod and see what happens. Your receiver room is probably one of the better ones in the league if you project out their ceilings. These 3 guys, CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, DJ Moore, I love their ceiling outcomes. DJ Moore could have a very good season again this year. Rashee Rice was on pace to be a top 5 receiver. Getting him in that pick 20 is just a discount, I feel like, in my opinion. I've been drafting him since he was in the 3rd round. He's my 2nd most owned receiver. I just think he right now currently is just still at a price that is mispriced. I think he should be closer to those guys at the turn than what he is currently. I think he should be closer to Drake London than he is Garrett Wilson and Tyreek Hill, personally. I think he's a little bit closer than those guys, but, it is what it is. Devon Achane, I'm not really, feeling that pick in half-point PPR. In drafters, you'll see I get him quite a bit just because it is the full-point PPR format, which makes it a little bit easier to get him, honestly. In all actuality, it makes it a lot easier for me to get him. So we have 2 of 12 so far still registered. Still waiting on some people to get registered here. Like I said, if you guys are enjoying, make sure y'all come on through, draft, hang out. If y'all want to use my code, you can. But yeah, we'll go back to this. So to start, we saw Jamar Chase go off the board at 101, which is interesting enough for dynasty purpose. I haven't seen this yet. I'm not saying I hate it, but I do think it's a really good pick here on dynasty. Then we see Jaden Daniels, which I have had Jaden Daniels as my 101 for quite some time. He's a pretty easy 101 smack for me. Josh Allen, 103. Lamar, 104. Pretty good value for the 4-hole here, all around here. Lamar, Puka at the 209, which Puka at the 209 should never happen, in my opinion. But it happened. So, it is what it is. What's good? What's good, Curry? Always tuning in. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. But yeah, like I was saying, going back to this, I got Malik Neighbors at the 106. I did move up. I did trade up to get to him. I traded the 503 and the 303 to get the 106 and the 1107 back. Did I get a downgrade at the 1107? Sure, from the 503, but it was well worth it to start Neighbors, Hurts, Thomas, in my opinion. Getting Hurts, Thomas, and then like if I would have got Lad McConkey instead of Malik Neighbors, it's just not nearly as exciting to me. I think Malik Neighbors offers an upside that McConkey can't even get to. And in Dynasty, I honestly like Neighbors a little bit more than Jefferson. I'm becoming that person. Maybe it's a little bit of recency bias. I don't know. But Justin Jefferson, to me, he's 26 years old. I understand the next 3 years, really nothing changes for this guy. But we know what he is, and we know he's at his peak value. I feel like Neighbors is a guy who could be better than Jamar at some point. And I don't really think there's really debating that. He put up a really good season last season with Tommy DeVito, Daniel Jones, just really shitty situation, to be quite honest with you. And the situation's only getting better. Russell Wilson, I hate to break it to you guys, as bad as Russell Wilson was last season, he is a much better quarterback than Tommy DeVito. And he is a much better quarterback than Daniel Jones, especially at throwing deep balls, which Neighbors is really good at getting. So, I'm really anxious to see how that connection works. Even if Russell Wilson isn't the guy, they have Jameis Winston, who is a slinger. We know what he is at this point. And Jameis Winston paired up with Malik Neighbors is interesting. That's what I'm going to say to that. That is a very interesting duo, because I feel like Jameis Winston made Jerry Jeudy a wide receiver 1 last season. The same thing could happen with Neighbors, only on steroids, because Neighbors is a much better player than Jerry Jeudy, and we could see that happen again, which would be kind of insane. But yeah, that's kind of the thought process there for the 106. I'm not really sure why these guys went 109 Genty, 111 Bijan, 112 Gibbs. I don't mind it, but I would be taking these receivers first, and I would be taking Pat Mahomes a lot sooner than the 207, personally. This is the lowest I've seen Pat Mahomes fall. I've seen a lot of guys let Mahomes fall, and I don't really understand it. I know he hasn't had 2 good seasons back to back, like exceptionally good seasons, we'll say, but we know this guy is the starter for the next God knows how long. I don't know. That's a very valuable asset to me, to just know that your guy is the starting quarterback for however long he wants to be, essentially. And he doesn't have an injury history. He doesn't really have anything wrong with him. So it's kind of like one of those things where I didn't really understand why that is what it is. But Cat with a Headband got a discount on Mahomes. I think Puka Nacua was a huge discount. Puka Nacua should have been up here with these guys, in my opinion. Just my 2 cents. Marv off the board, 211. Bo Nix at 212. CJ at the 301. Herbert at the 206. I didn't get that one either. That felt really early to me. I feel like Herbert's a 3rd-round pick. I don't think he's a 2nd-round pick at all. Maybe the guy's a Chargers fan. He's a Raiders guy. I don't really understand that pick, but it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. I would say he was hoping for one of these two, and I would have picked Mahomes at this point, but like I said, you don't have to understand their picks. I guess it's because Herbert's a few years younger, maybe. I don't know. I don't really understand this one, to be quite frank with you. I would never do this, but that's just me. We got Mahomes, McBride off the board. This is a 0.5 premium also, just to kind of throw that out there as well. Drake London, 210, kind of typical. Let's see. Let's kind of click on everybody's team. So you see Oaktown hasn't really traded anything yet. D. James has Jaden Daniels, Drake London, Marvin Harrison. That's a pretty good start. TJ has Josh Allen, and he's on the board now. Sawyer has Lamar, Puka, Baker. Cat has Brock Bowers, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes. A free man has Trey McBride, Bucky Irving, Lad McConkey. D. Parkton has Nico, Devon Achane, and Omarion Hampton. RS412 has Jefferson, Drake May, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Lars has Genty, Caleb Williams, Garrett Wilson. I actually kind of like the way that ended up turning out, even though I'm not really a fan of taking Genty over these two. But I get where he's going with that. I have Neighbors, Jalen Hurts, Brian Thomas. Crasher has Bijan, Amon-Ra, and Justin Herbert. And Jazz 098 has Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb, and CJ Stroud off the board. So, yeah, I mean, pretty solid start overall for a lot of people there. Like I said previously, I think mine's one of the better starts. I just feel like I got 3 first-round picks here, essentially, because Brian Thomas is a 1-2 turn. Malik Neighbors is always a 1-6, 1-7, 1-8. Jalen Hurts is sometimes 104. Like, sometimes he's all the way up at 104, and it's just 4 straight quarterbacks. Sometimes he's not. At the worst, he's in here. So for getting him at 110 feels like a very huge discount for me. It is a derby draft. I was the third preference to get to select. I did select 10th. The other 2 that went before me were 8 and 12. So I didn't get 12. I didn't want to be 11. I wanted to be 10 because I wanted a chance to have somebody like Jalen Hurts. Because if somebody takes a running back here, which happened, then you're going to get a quarterback or you're going to get one of the receivers in Jefferson or Neighbors or Bowers. So you're going to get one of those guys, and it just so happened that it fell to me. So, or you're going to get Burrow or Hurts. One of those guys is going to fall. You just have to see one of the running backs go in the top 8 or 9, and we did. So that was a huge lucky thing for me. So that's kind of where that is. Drafters, let's see where Drafters is right now. We still only have 2 of 12. Is anybody on to get in Drafters right now? Because, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. We could go to Underdog, I guess. I could add a little bit of money here. Let me go to Underdog real quick because I do want to get a draft going at the very least. Let me look and see. I'm not going to do a BBM because I'm not playing BBM this year. I've already maxed out the Schnauzer. Greyhound I've already done. I'm not going to do a big dog. I'm not going to do – there's really no contests on Underdog that I actually want to do. I guess we could do a Superflex contest on Underdog. I'm not opposed to doing that, I guess. Like I said, this stream is kind of more so geared towards Drafters today, but Drafters currently is not operating well. They're not giving me any drafts. Scott White says Sleeper. What about Sleeper? I was showing my my Devi startup just a few seconds ago, if that's what you're asking about. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and pull the stage back up here. All right. Actually, let's do this. Yeah, let's go there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do the Superflex puppy. Go ahead and enter into that. We're waiting on 8 people to fill that lobby right now currently. Hopefully we can get that lobby filled. Oh, okay. Well, we can leave this. Never mind. We got a drafters lobby. Finally. Okay. We got pick number 5 in the drafters lobby, so that's pretty sick. Let's see. So, yeah, I mean, let me know if you guys could see the board okay, see everything okay. Like I said, this is one of the first times I've really, not really the first time I've done this, but it's been a while, so. But I don't know what you're referring to here with the sleeper comment, Scott, but I don't know if you're referring to this. This is the Dynasty or the Devi League that we're doing a startup in. That's what I was kind of going over before the drafters draft started. Did I pick a slow draft? Oh my god, I'm an idiot, dude. Did I really pick a slow draft? Oh my god, they rearranged the buttons, bro. Oh, fuck, dude. I wondered how that filled so fast. Well, this is going to take 20 years to finish. Well, that's really unfortunate. Anyways, back to Underdog we go. Now I feel like a dumbass. Anyways, That's unfortunate. Go ahead and do this. Oh, wait. No. Just do the 20 seconds. That's fine. That is extremely unfortunate. I thought that it was filled, and I was getting happy. Now I'm sad because I got to wait. Now I'm going to have to wait forever because I entered a slow draft on accident. That's so unfortunate. What is up, Oaktown? Hope all is well. This is one of the guys in the Dynasty League that we were looking at earlier, or the Devy League, I guess I should say. Yeah, we're going to be here for a minute. I don't know why. Why is it doing that? Active. I don't know why Drafters is doing that. There we go. Okay, now it says I'm registered. So we got 412. If you guys want to join Drafters, use the code KG. If you're new, they will match deposit dollar for dollar up to 100, and it helps me out as well. So if you guys want to use code KG, you can. Link is also in the description as well. But yeah, what's up, Oaktown? Hope all is well. Hopefully we can get further in this draft tonight. We'll see. But yeah, what do you think of the Devy League so far, Oak? So far, so good, in my opinion. I've got a pretty insane start, I'd like to say. All right, so we get the 110, it looks like, for this. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. By the time that one fills, I would say this one will be over. So I don't know why Drafters is slower, but it is. You know, maybe less users. I don't know. All right, so we got. Do I know anybody in the lobby? Bowtown. I do know Bowtown. Anybody else? Nope, but a lot of badges in the lobby, so we'll see how this goes. Some experienced guys at least. So maybe we won't step on toes. Maybe we will. Who knows? You never know these days. If anybody's going to step on each other's toes or if something bad's going to happen, you never know. You're looking good so far, but that trade might hurt. I don't know. I mean, I gave up Lad McConkey, and it's probably going to be an Xavier Worthy type kind of guy here. I don't know. We'll see. I'm okay with it just because of how good the start was. Because if it didn't end up being Neighbors, Hurts, Thomas, like that's a really damn good start first year, to be honest. We got Josh, Lamar, Jaden, first 3 picks off the board in a super flex. Probably not too unexpected so far. We'll see. But I don't think I gave too much, Oak. I think I gave a perfect amount. If anything, I think the value on Neighbors makes it look even better. You know. I think getting BTJ and I think getting Hurts really like saved this team because at 203 here's what the plan was going into it. Was Neighbors either CeeDee Lamb or Amon-Ra here, or if Jefferson fell, Jefferson, and then take like Caleb Williams or Patrick Mahomes here. That was kind of the plan going in. I did not expect Jalen Hurts to be there. Okay, so we see Jamar go off the board, Saquon off the board, Bijan off the board, Mahomes off the board. We're going to go ahead and take Justin Jefferson, I believe, here. I believe he's a better pick than most of the people on the board. It was either him or Jameer. It definitely wasn't a quarterback yet. You've been studying Devy, you know more or less who you want to take. I mean, I haven't really honestly looked a ton into Devy. I've done a lot of dynasty leagues, obviously, but like I haven't really done a lot of I haven't done Devy. This is my first Devy, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay here. I haven't really done this ever. I'm okay going Derrick Henry, but I don't really want to do that either. So I think we're gonna pick Kyler Murray. Nah, we got to go Baker because Baker has been so good. And Baker was so good last season, man. Like, his situation has only gotten better. I know Cohen's gone. I know that some things have changed there, but like the weaponry hasn't really changed a bunch. If anything, it's gotten better. So you have to draft 6 Devy per bylaws. Okay, that's fine. I'm kind of looking to trade up anyways because I do kind of want to get that ball rolling too. Brock Purdy, Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams. There goes the slew of quarterbacks. So we're glad we take one there. Glad we didn't pass. Let's put it that way. Let's be glad we didn't go with Derrick Henry, because if we did not have a quarterback right now, I would be literally shitting myself. Because we're running out pretty quick for QB1 type players. So that's kind of rough. I'd love to trade up Oak and get back in, but I don't know if anybody will want me to trade up and get back in. I'd love to trade back up. Like, if you want to trade, we could trade for this 312, but it would be the 410, so it wouldn't be like a huge, trade, but it wouldn't be a bad one, I don't think. I'd be cool with trading the 410 and for the 312, and like you get the 810 and you throw me back your 912 or something along that line. I don't mind talking trades on stream. I truly don't. If I can look at it and kind of see it on stream too, I don't mind it. Be something along that line though. I mean, you can counter if you want in here, or you can counter in sleeper or whatever, but that's kind of where I'm at. BTJ off the board at pick 30. Let's kind of look at the board. As you can see, there's a lot of quarterbacks off the board already. Jared Goff gets paired up with Amon-Ra, Jefferson, Baker, Mahomes, Henry, Purdy, Bijan, Fields, Saquon, Kyler, with 2 elite receivers, Caleb, Burrow, Achane. Still no receiver there. I'm okay with going Jordan Love or T-Law. I'm okay with either one. McCarthy's already gone. I think we're going to go Jordan Love. I think he's a better pick than Drake May. I'm not a big Drake May advocate this year. I think he's a good dynasty asset. I just don't think he's a very good redraft asset. Let's see. A.J. Brown. I do want to get one of these running backs here. I want to make sure that I get a good running back room, because in these super flex drafts, the running backs dry up really quick, and that's really realistically where you'd like to get good, strong players at, is running back and quarterback. If we can get a third quarterback, that's great. At the end of the day, is what it is. If you can, if you can't, cool. We can get a pretty bad one, and I'd be okay with that. We're going to go ahead and take Jonathan Taylor. If he gets the carries that he should, 300 carries, which is typically what he gets, I think this is a very good running back if he stays healthy still. Still only 26 years old. Really good runner. He's probably the focal point of the offense, especially if you think Daniel Jones is winning that job. I do think that opens up a lot more red zone opportunity for Jonathan Taylor. We saw that when Joe Flacco was filling in for them last season. I do, like I said, feel like Jonathan Taylor is a red zone threat. I feel like he's their number one option in the red zone. And especially with Daniel Jones, it's going to be a lot more opportunity in the red zone for him. He did have 14-ish touchdowns last year, 15 touchdowns. I forget how many touchdowns he had exact. 11 touchdowns. Okay. Yeah, he missed a few games, and he still managed to have 300 carries. I still think he's a very big focal point of their offense. He did get an extension, so I do feel like that's a really good pick. Josh Jacobs off the board, A.J. Brown, Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence. We got the drafters going as well. Kind of did not expect that to fill so soon. And we already autoed Justin Jefferson, which is fine. I'm totally cool with that. I'd prefer Justin Jefferson to those two in this format anyways. So we got 2 teams with Justin Jefferson off the board. If you couldn't tell, I like Justin Jefferson in the immediate future. We kind of have rankings set here as well. Although I don't think they're okay. They didn't save. That's unfortunate. So we are going to have to bounce back and forth here of kind of what we're doing here. I do apologize for that. Although what I might do, honestly, is do the Underdog draft on my phone, because it is a drafter stream. So we are going to do the drafter stream on here. It will do the Underdog draft on my phone. That works. So I don't have to bounce around back and forth for everybody. But Justin Jefferson, I don't think really needs much explanation for a pick of why you would pick him. probably the most consistent receiver we have seen for quite some time over the years. And it's pretty hard to dispute that claim, to be quite honest. Dude, people are DMing me left and right. I don't know what they're fucking sitting here doing, bro. All right. Anyway, let's see. We're up in we're almost up. All right. So we still got Rashee Rice on the board. I think Rashee Rice is a huge value. I also think T. Higgins is a good pick. Bucky's a good pick. Reek circulation doesn't matter as much here. We do get Rashee Rice to fall to us, which is beautiful. I will constantly take this duo of Jefferson Rice. I think Rashee Rice has potential to finish as a top 5 running back this year. And honestly, I don't know why more people aren't saying that. It feels like he has the opportunity to really grab hold of an elite offense, get peppered so many targets from Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And they, on top of all of that, their run game is not that good, nor will it be as good this year. I just don't think Pacheco is healthy. I don't think much of him, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Trey McBride is going to go off the board for me here. I'm going to go ahead and take him. I like to get these elite tight ends. I do know this is a 20-round draft rather than 18 like Underdog is, but getting an elite tight end at this discount feels good because you don't really have to worry about it until the last rounds. And I can take Terrence Ferguson in the last round and feel good. Terrence Ferguson's probably my most drafted player, if not second most drafted player in this format. And the reason being, simply put, is just because I think he's absolutely elite. He's an elite prospect. I do think he's on a very good team. He's in a very good situation this season. I think him and Stafford, I think that's exactly what Stafford needed, was a replacement for Higbee. Higbee's getting a little older. I do think Higbee will start the season, as the starting tight end, but I do think Ferguson is a guy towards the end of the year to look out for. I think he's just as good as Mason Taylor. What code to use for drafters? So I can give you the link. It is in the description below, or if you just type in KG, if you're a new user, like I said, it'll deposit match up to $100. Or I can give you the link, which is in the description below. Give me just a second. And I can put it in chat. Give me one moment. Actually, we could just pin it in chat. That'd probably be easier. There we go. That should do it. Let me go ahead and pin that as well, just so we have it. Okay, there we go. So that is the referral code. If you guys want it, you can use that link to sign up on Drafters, or you could always just type in KG, whichever works. But Drafters is one of these platforms. I really like it. It's 13 rounds, like I said, or 13 rounds, 20 rounds, as I said previously. Instead of the 18 that Underdog does, I feel like they have their trade-offs, right? They definitely have their trade-offs. But I do believe I like this format better. I do want to ask you guys a quick question though. Do you like this format better or this one? Because I like this one a little better because it doesn't show my taskbar. I could also do this one, but it closes off half the board. So I want to know what you guys prefer. So we'll take a little poll real quick. Option 1, option 2, or option 3. Which do you guys prefer? Because if I put it over in the bottom right, my face camera, then it's going to be over my team, and I don't really want that. So, but drop a comment below if you're watching this after the fact, which one you prefer, 1, 2, or 3. That'll let me know that you made it at least this far into the live stream. So I think we're going to go with 2 for now, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. We'll see. But moving on here anyways. So let's kind of take a look at some teams here. We got Marvin Harrison, T. Higgins, Saquon, Chase Brown, Ladd McConkey, Bijan, Bucky, Garrett, Lamb, McLaurin, Bowers, Gibbs, JSN, AJ, Christian McCaffrey, Jacobs, Taylor, Neighbors, Mike, Achane, Amon-Ra. He takes 2 of the elite quarterbacks I have done this one time, and I probably will never do it again. I don't like it. I think it's really a horrible idea, to be quite honest with you. It's probably my least favorite thing people do is take double elite guys like that. Um, I don't like it. I don't really like it, and I get it. You win at quarterback every week, which makes sense. It increases your floor quite a bit, but it takes away ceiling from other positions quite a bit. And you'll see that later on in his draft where he has Henry BTJ. It's going to be hard for him to field 3 receivers. And it's going to be tough. And you guys will see that towards the end of this draft, like I said. It's not going to be easy for him to field that many receivers, at least consistently. You're going to have to hit on your receivers pretty heavily. And I get it. You're getting 25 plus points a week probably at quarterback, which is nice. But you have the same bye week too. So week 7, you're not even getting those points. So it kind of like, it just doesn't make much sense to me to do, especially those two. Like if you would go Lamar Jaden or Josh Jaden or something like that, like maybe, but just doesn't make much sense for me to do. Hampton off the board, not a terrible pick. I'm okay with that. I just had to look down and pick on my other team real quick. All right, so we got that off the board. I think we're going to go ahead and go with Jalen Hurts, one of the biggest values on the board. I do think he's a really good pick here. You get an elite quarterback in Jalen. You get 2 elite receivers and an elite tight end. All 4 of these guys could potentially be the one at their positions, respectively. You know, I've seen it. I've seen seasons where Hurts looks like a quarterback 1. I've seen it where Jefferson and Rice look like the receiver 1. And Trey McBride, if he gets a little more touchdowns, could be the tight end 1 as well. So the upside's there. 110% it is there. I think either Cortland Sutton or Calvin Ridley is the next pick. We're going to go with Sutton. Go Broncos. If you guys didn't know, I am a Broncos advocate, fan, whatever you want to say. I don't let that bias really take me into these rooms, but it's either between Sutton and Ridley, and here's why. They're the alphas of their offense. It fills that last receiver spot. Lots of upside being the alpha. You get a lot of targets, which means you get a lot more opportunity. And the name of fantasy game is to get opportunity. So if you do not get opportunity, what does that mean? Well, you do not have a chance of being an elite person to outperform your ADP. And if you can't outperform your ADP, well, then why are you getting picked in the first place? Especially in a best ball format when you're competing against 60,000 other people. So your goal is to outperform your ADPs here. And I think that all these guys can outperform their ADPs. Personally. And that's just how I feel about it. Ridley, in my opinion, should not be going after these guys. I don't think Ridley should be going after Zay. I don't know that Ridley should really there's a couple guys here that I think Ridley and Sutton should be more in these guys' range than these guys' range, in my opinion. Those 2 guys are extremely mispriced, and I see it on Underdog too. Especially Sutton. Well, realistically, it's both of them because Ridley and Sutton are more so Addison. Like they're the Addison price range on Underdog, and I don't get that. It's not really a thing that I can see an outcome for that, let's be real for a moment. Ridley's situation has only gotten better. I mean, let's be honest about this for a moment, because freaking, I don't even remember who was throwing him the ball last year. Like Will Levis, like, come on, man. Like, are we really going to compare that situation to what it is now? Like, let's be real, man. Like, I'm just being a realist. Like, Will Levis or Cam Ward, man. Like, that is a significant upgrade. Ridley is this year's Terry. The thing with Ridley is he's not really like a touchdown guy like Terry is. Ridley had so many yards through the air, underachieved just because of how bad the throws were. So he led the NFL. I read this somewhere. He led the NFL in most unrecognized air yards, I think is how they worded it, which basically means your quarterback couldn't put the ball on you and you were open, essentially. And he had that mark over an average of 30 yards per game. So that's 30 unrealized yards per game that we were missing out on from Ridley last year. And Ridley really wasn't even that bad last year, so to speak. Quite honestly, he was actually pretty good. If we're being real, Ridley was actually pretty damn good last year, all things considered. Sutton didn't have that going for him, but Sutton, on the other hand, Sutton's a guy who is the no-doubted, unquestioned alpha in that offense. 8 touchdowns, I feel like, is a low number for him. A lot of them came in the second half of last year. So, a lot of it was Bo Nix getting equated with the offense the first half of the year. In the second half of the year, Courtland Sutton went off. Man, and we saw that in the playoffs. We saw it. At least I did. I saw a lot of good things from Courtland Sutton last year. And him and Bo Nix, I anticipate them to repeat again this year. This year's Terry, in terms of a serious upgrade, he's going to be a top 15 wide receiver. I don't know if I'd push top 15. Because if you're talking top 15, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're talking the Adams, Reek, Marv, Terry range. I'm not willing to put him there yet. However, I am willing to take him from wide receiver 20-something and put him in like 18, 19. I think he's ahead of DK. I think he's right here with Tat and Evans. I think guys I'd compare him to. Like, those are the two guys I think he's kind of around, so to speak. So we got Hurts, Jefferson, Rice, Sutton, McBride. Who do we want to go here? Let's go with the wide receiver one from your San Francisco 49ers for now, Ricky Pearsall. I wasn't high on Ricky Pearsall. I'm more of an Ayuk guy. I always will be more of an Ayuk guy. I just think that is a dynasty play. I don't know that it's a redraft play. Do I think Ayuk could be the receiver one this year? Yes. I think that is a very, very strong likelihood that it could happen still. I just have so much Ayuk in my portfolio already from betting on that it's just not worth me continuing that bet. I have roughly 40%, I think, in my underdog portfolio of that bet alone, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of continuing. So we have 4 receivers, not one single running back. You're going to see me smack this guy a lot in drafts on YouTube. Quinshon Judkins. I'm not going to lie. This might be a bold claim. It might be. I hope you're ready to hear it. Quinshon Judkins is the RB2 of the class. I said it. I said what I said, and I don't care. I don't care what I said. If it's wrong, say what you want to say. But I think Quinshon Judkins is a guy that we are severely underrating. Camp looks amazing. The guy is explosive. A way better receiver than people are giving him credit for, because he didn't get the opportunity to do it at Ohio State. If we look at Quinshon Judkins before TreVeyon Henderson, he was not a bad receiver. Genuinely, he was not a bad receiver whatsoever. And if you, at the end of the day, he is explosive, fellas. Like, the Nick Chubb role is a very real thing in Cleveland, and I think he's going to encapsulate it, embody it, and totally just dominate in that role. I think he's a very great pick. I don't know that there's any wrong with him. I do think him being an RB1 on this team is a little bit rough, but that's why we got 20 rounds. That's why we got 20 rounds to make it up. Our receiver room right now, we got 4 receivers. We start 3 every week at a flex. So, at the end of the day, I think we got good receivers. I think we can say that about our receiver room. We got one of the elite quarterbacks. We got one of the elite tight ends. We're not missing those pieces. We don't have to. We can make that up later. We can make up the depth for those positions later. Now we need to go attack running back, and we need to attack more receiver again, because we only need 2 quarterbacks, because we're betting on Jalen Hurts having a top 5 finish, if not better. We're betting Jalen Hurts to go ahead and be the QB1 and outperform this ADP. That's what we're hoping. We're hoping he can do that. Not a crazy take at all. Good receiving ability and workhorse size. and ran a 4.4 in the 40, super explosive. Exactly. He looks really good in camp. I hate to use the camp shit because the camp shit means absolutely nothing to anybody. Saquon Brown, AJ Brown off the board, back to back here, double taps with Josh Allen. Interesting that he went back to back Eagles. I just like to point that out in this Dynasty Devy draft as well. Back to back Eagles. That's interesting. I wouldn't have done that, but once again, you know, it is what it is. Oaktown, back-to-back picks. I know Oaktown was in here earlier. So Oaktown, if you're still here, you're up. You want to do a trade? I'm more than open to do a trade. I'm always down to do a trade. But so far, I mean, the board kind of, let's see. Let's go ahead and get the board out a little bit further. I want to make sure that we get all the rounds here encapsulated so we can see the board. There we go. See, like this team here, Amon-Ra, Evans, Tet, Waddle, Odunze, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Jones, Devon H. Like that's how I would normally draft, and then take a Justin Fields, a Brock Purdy, somebody like that, and be fine. That's typically what I do. I think I can get away with going Bo Nix here. Maybe I can wait till the 9th round to get him, and hopefully I can get a Warren or let's see, I don't want Ayuk. Warren or Higgins is kind of who we're looking to get maybe here. I think Higgins is not a bad pick. Yeah, we're probably going to go Higgins here. Yeah, we're going to keep adding to our receiver room and go Jaden Higgins. I love Jaden Higgins. Profile's great. On a great offense, once again. I will continually keep saying that until my breath runs out, that it matters what offense you're in. And I think Jaden Higgins has gotten into one that is truly, truly one of the better ones in the NFL. I think we are going to go either. Actually, we could wait. We don't have to go Bo Nix here. We don't have to go Bo Nix here. We could go our second tight end and go Evan Ingram and be done at tight end. I think that's probably what we're going to do is smash. No. Take these bad running backs. Take these guys that are like iffy. We're going to go Najee Harris for his early season projections and hope that Judkins can kind of carry himself along here in the first little bits of the season to make himself a playable guy. We kind of want him to come on in the second half of the year, which is expected of these running backs, these rookie guys. Sometimes they make immediate impacts. It's okay if he doesn't. I'm okay with it if he doesn't. Cam Scattaboo still on the board. Sharb's on the board. Tracy on the board. A lot of good guys still here on the board. I am still currently doing the underdog draft kind of on the side here. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of two things at once. Let's see. We'll go ahead and take Tank in that draft. We only got 5 receivers actually in the underdog draft so far. Bo Nix and Justin Fields back-to-back off the board. But the thing about Bo Nix is you could pair him with Mims or Evan Ingram and be fine. Baker Mayfield, you don't really get any late options for him. And he only has 2 receivers. I don't love that for him. I do not love that at all. His tight end room, he's got Bowers and Hawkinson. I don't really know why he did that, but he did. So not really my favorite team here from, Clint Jr. 8195. Not how I would draft, especially. Mahomes here with Worthy. This is the team that I really like constructually. The running back room is a little iffy for me. The guys that he took, I probably would not have taken McCaffrey. I probably would have went Neighbors Amon-Ra. And I probably would have went 3rd round Jacobs or Kyron instead of JSN. Because I think one of those guys are just as good as McCaffrey. I get the receiving upside. I get the PPR upside here because of the contest rules that is PPR in this format instead of half-point PPR. But I'm not there for it. I'm not at this point with McCaffrey. I will never be back at this point again with McCaffrey. I'm out. Henry, I'm pretty much out on too. And the 1 year that they get injured or the 1 year that they show their age, they are going to fall off a cliff. And I mean, there is like a cliff, like this imaginary cliff, right? Most running backs are sitting like like here on that cliff. These guys are like out here on this cliff. They're literally on the edge of it, just teetering, waiting to fall off. And I get one of them hasn't shown the sign yet, of which I'm referring to Derrick Henry. The other one has literally shown you every sign under the sun, and people continue to still draft him. And I don't get it, man. I don't get it, because he's been hurt in a lot of years, a lot more than he hasn't been. Let's put it that way. Dang, he took JJ McCarthy. That sucks. Oh, that sucks. Anyway, I have to figure out another plan, because that happened. We could backstack that. Dang, that sucks. Okay. Anyway, I was making a pick on Underdog. I was really hoping JJ McCarthy was falling to me there. We can backstack something with one of those other quarterbacks, and we can wait. For now, we're probably gonna take our second tight end and be done there. Actually, there's some running back here I want. We are gonna go Tajay Spears at my third running back. I do think there's a good chance that we see Tajay Spears get involved this year, especially. Last year I didn't have much belief in that. This year I think things can change. I think everything can change about that this year. We could go Herbert or Love and backstack them. I'm gonna go Herbert, I think, because I think it's just a better pick. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So Herbert, we might try to pair up later with QJ. Let's see. We don't have any really good tight ends here that we would want to pair up with him. That's fine. We can just get Goddard later. And Goddard has his tight end weeks where he's good. I just don't really know how amazing he is, so to speak. But yeah. Oaktown, let's see, still on the board. Like I said, this is a slow draft, so we're not really seeing much here. I'll kind of move that down here so you guys can see this. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth here because I kind of want to keep track of that as well, of where it's at, because I kind of want to see if there's any offers on the table here that I can get. So I'm going to message him real quick and see if there's anything he might want. Let's see. Okay. Njoku, Christian Kirk, Jonnu Smith, Kyle Williams, Hunter Brown, Hollywood Brown, and Tyler Warren off the board. Tyler Warren is a really big discount in drafters and Underdog, really. Tyler Warren's been dropping quite a bit. I do really like Tyler Warren quite a bit. He's a guy that I feel like should not be going this low. Really, I like what he did here. He has good running back room. Neighbors, DK, Judy, Egbuka. The only pick I don't love is Egbuka. I don't know how much upside Egbuka has this year. As far as dynasty goes, Egbuka's great. I don't know how much upside he really has this year, though. So that kind of worries me a little bit with him. But yeah. If you guys are new here also, make sure y'all hit the like button. Thumbs up, whatever you want to call it. Helps my stream kind of get out there. So if you guys could, please like the stream. That helps me a lot. Helps the algo kind of push my stuff out there. And I'm trying to get back out there. So, trying to get some YouTube streams out, trying to get some Twitch streams out, trying to get a lot of stuff out. I haven't recorded a video yet, but I think my videos, I'm still trying to decide what I want to do, if I want to go the best ball route. I don't think I want to. I think I want to talk about dynasty content on my videos and live stream a lot more of drafts just like this on my channel, like live. But, and provide updates to like draft rooms like this. But I don't know. I don't know what plan is going forward, but I'm at least trying to configure a plan. We'll put it that way. So We have Luther Burden, Jaden Blue. We got some guys there that are interesting. Cedric Tillman. I am going to add a few more spaces here just so I have a little bit more room to see who's on the board. Likely Quentin Johnston. I think Likely is a fun guy to talk about here as far as best ball goes. Anything happens to Andrews, Likely automatically surges into the top 6 or 7 tight ends. And I think that's fun. I think that's extremely fun, especially for a guy who's a second tight end. I think it's extremely, extremely fun. Colston Loveland is another guy that I really like, who is in this range of like way too cheap, in my opinion. Let's see, who's the Caleb drafter? This guy, does he have anybody paired up with Caleb? No. Who's he paired up with Dak? No. So he's just naked, both of them right now. So he's just naked. Okay, it's interesting. I think stacking is something that like could be accounted for. I do personally think it is something that you should at least consider when you're drafting. I don't think it's like the end all be all, but Goddard off the board, that really sucks for me. We'll take Hurts naked and we'll just go with Colston Loveland. I'm okay with that. I don't think Luther Burden has much upside, but 128 is a very cheap price for him. He is dropping. I'm going to wait and see if I could get him on a turn because I'd rather have Loveland. If I can't, that's fine. If I can get him on the turn, that's even better. So now I really don't have to take another tight end at all. I'm good with what I got. So if Luther Burden goes off the board, then we'll take QJ. That's kind of how I feel about it. So we'll see what happens. Anything can happen. Luther Burden off the board. All right, and there you go. So we go QJ. We go QJ, pair him up with Herbert. Maybe QJ has a better year. You know, Trey Harris goes off the board at pick 110. QJ goes off at the pick 146. I think they're going to be similar years. I don't really know that Trey Harris is going to be much better than Quentin Johnston. I do think Quentin Johnston still has a role in this offense. I don't think they're giving up on him necessarily as some people might. I just think that they're going to be cutting him back. I think it's going to be a competition. It's anybody's game for those two to win. And I think Trey Harris is talented. I think Trey Harris could also end up in the slot. He's rather big for a slot receiver, though. So maybe Ladd McConkey ends up in the slot. Could happen. Very easily could happen. Ladd McConkey's the slot, and Quentin and Trey Harris are both the X and Z guys. Those are guys that can be on the outside and produce. So maybe that's what happens. They get the downfield. They run the streaks, the clear outs for Ladd McConkey underneath. Could be the case. They also have a talented tight end there that's been buzzing in camp. I am totally blanking on his name right now. This guy, Arondo Gadsden. This guy has been buzzing in camp. Nobody can quit talking about him. He's looked good. Harbaugh has said nothing but good about him. I don't know how much this feels like a gimmick to me. It kind of does feel like kind of gimmicky to me, just because it kind of feels like the situation we had with, what's his name? The situation we had with, oh my God, what is his name? Lord have mercy. I cannot remember his name. He's a Madden goat, and I cannot remember his name. I am blanking totally hard right now. Donald Parham. There we go. It feels like a Donald Parham kind of gimmick to me. There we go. That was the name I was looking for. It just feels too gimmicky for me personally. So I don't really know. I don't know how to feel about it. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't feel very wrong on this one. Scroll down here. Romeo Dobbs, Kyle Pitts, Stafford, Geno Smith, Trevor Lawrence, Pat Bryant, Thielen, McMillan. Like I said, Likely, in my opinion, is a great tight end too. I don't think he's really worth much more than a tight end two. Some people actually draft him as a tight end one, which is interesting. If you guys are curious what the underdog draft looked like, We can go ahead and show that off as well. We'll go ahead and show that really quickly here. So we ended up with Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, Russell Wilson, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Quinshon Judkins, Tank Bigsby, Harquez, Hunter, Jordan James, Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Jacoby Myers, Ricky Pearsall, Kyle Williams, Quentin Johnston, Wandale Robinson, Calvin Austin, Tyler Warren, Tucker Kraft, and Elijah Arroyo. We didn't get Russell Wilson really paired up with anybody but Wandale, which is fine. Love's paired up with Kraft. That's fine. Baker and Evans get the pairing. So pretty good draft overall. We got some correlation going on there. But back to the world of drafters. Wandale Robinson in a PPR format is not very upside driven, but he is floor driven. And if you can get a guy like that at this point, I feel like that's pretty good. I think we're done taking receiver. Yeah, we have 7 receivers, and they're all pretty good. Running back room needs a lot of work. Tight ends and quarterbacks are good. Running back room needs a lot of work. There's not going to be a lot of guys here that we could sit here and be ecstatic about, but I do think Justice Hill is a perfect pick for this team. Normally, I would take Jalen Wright. I don't think Justice Hill is going to be there back around when I come back around, though. So we're going to reach a little bit here and take Justice Hill. I do think he's a guy that PPR-wise can at least produce some weeks for you. He's probably going to hit the lineup at least a few weeks. So that's kind of one of those things that I feel like could be the case. Maybe he hits the lineup some weeks. We'll see. Offer sent. Okay, let me look. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably a no-go for me. To move up 1 round and then to move back 6 rounds, that's a no-go. That's a no-go. I'll just be patient and wait. It's cool. Yeah, I'll wait on that Oaktown. That's not even close for me, to be quite honest. Oh man. That's a pretty quick decline for me. There's no way I'm moving back that many rounds. The only way I'd do that is if it's for neighbors or somebody like that, but it's just not. So it's not worth that to me. So it's all right though. We can negotiate again later in the future. Just not worth that to me. Not yet, anyways. Similar to the last trade. Wait, did somebody actually do that last trade? Damn. Yeah, I'd never do that personally if I was the D James dude, but that's me. Like I said, that's that's not really a deal that I would do personally, but plus he's doing it for Drake London and not like he's not doing it for a Tet McMillan. Like the talent range is a little bit different here that he did it for. I moved back from the 5 to the 11, so it made sense for me to do that because I was getting Malik Neighbors. At the end of the day, it's a start 10. It's not a start 11 like a lot of my leagues are. So I feel like I could eat that a little bit and be okay. It's fine with me. Yeah, it's all good. We can negotiate again at some point else in this draft, probably some point or another. There'll be a lot more negotiations happen in the draft. I already know that's coming anyways. I will say the first 3 rounds have been kind of normal so far, except for Puka. Puka fell quite a bit, and Jamar going 101. That's like the only like weird things. And the running backs going over the receivers. That never happens in any league that I've ever played in. So, all right. We got to find some value here. Dylan Sampson is a guy that I really like to take. We already have Judkins, though. I think Giddens is a great pick. We're going to go ahead and take Giddens and see what happens with Giddens. Like I said, we're just taking jabs at people. We need some points that can come on the board and be impacts for us. Probably are going to go Hunter next. I don't love Hunter. I think Ford is a guy that could really help this backfield a lot. Another guy that might maybe move on this year. I'm not really sure with Ford. Ford's a guy that I love clicking, but he's a hard click this year. He's a very hard click. Just because Samson's there and Judkins is there, like it kind of feels like they already got their duo there already. Keaton Mitchell's fun because if something happens to Henry, those two are definitely going to feed off of each other, and you have that backfield locked in. I do think that's usually something I wouldn't do in best ball because you're making a bet, but I'm making a bet that Derrick Henry gets injured or something happens to Derrick Henry. Since you're out, who would you go for? He wants to know my opinion of who I'd go for, Ted or Hunter. Oh, man. Ted or Hunter's a fun question. It truly is because it kind of depends on a build of your team. You know, it just, are you looking to win? Are you looking to long-term? Because long-term wise, it feels like right now, like I turned on a light because I don't know why, but this camera makes me really look like I have like pit stains and I don't. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, I'm stuck on both. It's hard because I think Tet has more of an immediate impact than Travis, but I think Travis's ceiling for fantasy purpose, I don't know. That's the thing is it's like the reward could be so good for Travis, but it's like I've been questioning this myself recently. It's like, okay, the upside of Travis in real life up here. Like it's like off the screen, like nothing we've ever seen before. Travis as a receiver in fantasy, what's his true like ceiling? Like it's not off the screen, in my opinion. I think his ceiling as a receiver, in my opinion, maybe this is a little controversial. I don't know. It could be Garrett Wilson. JSN maybe right now. How many yards did JSN have last season? 1130. I feel like this number, like his ceiling could be a 1200 yard, 1250 yard, 8 touchdown season. That to me feels like a ceiling for Travis. Tet, on the other hand, feels like Mike Evans' prime ceiling kind of guy. Maybe a Drake London for Tet, maybe. I don't see him being Nico. He's not that good of a route runner. AJ Brown, he's not that fast. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I think their ceilings are similar. I just think Tet's is a realized impact a little bit quicker, personally. So take that for what it is. I think their ceilings are similar, but I think Travis has a little bit longer to wait to get to his actual ceiling, if that makes sense. I also think Tet's ceiling is hindered to how good Bryce Young truly is, because I don't really have a lot of questions about how good Trevor Lawrence is, because I think personally Trevor Lawrence was in a really toxic, bad environment previous to this one. So I think this year is going to be a lot better for him personally. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. We're gonna go ahead and take Kyle Monagai here. Hopefully I don't believe in Swift as much as other people do. And if you notice a trend here, we're taking a lot of receiving backs and just swing for the fence upside here in hopes that we can get somebody worth a shit in this range. Excuse my French. That's kind of the hope because we still got another round to go and we're probably going to take another running back. Ty Johnson, another guy that I'm going to take for PPR purpose. Just another guy that is involved in the offense that can get me some points some weeks and be usable some weeks. That's kind of the hope. We're hoping that we can get some points from our running back crew because the rest of this team is fine. The rest of this team will perform. We just need running backs to help us out. If something happens to Marion Hampton, guess what? Najee Harris instantly becomes one of the best picks that we have here. Same thing with Tony Pollard. If something happens to Tony Pollard, or Tajay Spears just flat out gets better than Tony Pollard, guess what? Tajay Spears, right there. Justice Hill. Anything happens to Derrick Henry, you got both the guys that are next in line. Good stuff, but leaning Tet. It depends on the day you ask me if I'm leaning Tet or Travis. I think it just depends on your circumstance and kind of how you want to build your team, personally. I think Travis definitely has the upside to be a first-round pick at some point. I don't think Tet has that kind of upside, but I think Tet has a better floor than Travis. If that makes sense. Because I think Travis, footwork-wise, his ceiling, he could be better than Brian Thomas. Just could be. Brian Thomas could be outside, fast guy on the outside. And Travis could get all the stuff underneath and still be fast. But we also, the thing about Travis is we don't know how many snaps he's going to play. We don't know that either. So that's a little bit questionable at times. Is he going to play, 70% of the offensive snaps? Is he going to play 90% of the offensive snaps? Is he going to play 50% of the offense? We don't know that answer. So it's a kind of a hard question to sit here and ask and figure out where people stand on it. It's kind of where I'm at with it. If you guys want, after this, we could hop in a Dynasty mock. I might put it out there and see what happens. I can't believe I joined a slow draft. Now I'm going to have to sit here and watch this. And I just saw Bijan Rob. Man, what am I seeing in a slow draft room right now? Is this real? Like, come on, dog. Bijan Robinson 101. Like, is that real? Like, are we real people? I know Oaktown's just sitting there cringing after seeing that, because I'm cringing seeing that. Like, come on, dog. Like, there's no way that's the pick 101, man. You get a 101 and you don't take Jamar. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that just feels stupid to me. It's really hard to see a negative, situation for Jamar. Because, the situation didn't change. If anything, the defense got worse. So it's really difficult to see him go down. Let's go ahead and get a sleeper mock started here. Let's see. Can I rename this? Let's see. Third round reversal. Roster. Save. All right. Last pick. Last pick. And we're going to go ahead and go with Jordan James. All right. There we go. There's the team. All right. Sleeper. If you guys want to hop into a Dynasty 12 team Superflex Dynasty mock, we can do that. Yes. Draft order doesn't matter. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rounds. We'll do a 15-round mock just to kind of get things going here. Update. All right. And I am going to claim number 10 just because. Create invite link. We'll go ahead and paste that in here. All right. And I am going to post this in some Discords as well. See if anybody wants to join. Post a link. One more place I could post it, try to fill it. Let's see. Let's see. Is there anywhere else that I could put this link at? Oh, there's one other place. Let's go ahead here. Go mocks. I'm going to hope that sent. Because for some reason, it's not wanting to show that it sent. So let me go look real quick. See if it's sent. All right. Hopefully we can fill at least half of it. We'll see. If not, it is what it is. Let's see. I'll also drop it in some other league chats as well. I am going to copy that. Kind of want to see where we're at here. Going through all my dynasty leagues here. See if anybody wants to join. Why not? I need to make a Discord server and like actually make it worthwhile to do. I need to sit down and do that at some point. My Discord server's made. It's just not amazing by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. Hopefully we can get some people. If not, we'll see what happens. Let's see. All right. Go back to StreamYard here. All right. So hopefully we can get some people to join, do some dynasty mocking tonight. If not, we'll give it a few. If not, we'll just hop into either another drafters or we might call it a night and call it an hour and a half stream. We'll see. Hopefully we can get enough for a 15 round draft. We'll see. But like I said, it's not a guarantee. It's never a guarantee that we can. I don't have a big enough community yet to be able to hop in and do some of these. So and I want to make sure that we got, if it even sent in every league, because it doesn't show that it did. Let's see real quick. Okay, it did. Like I said, we'll see what happens. If people want to join, they can. If not, maybe we just won't do it tonight. I don't know. I put it everywhere I know to put it. We'll put it that way. So. People want to mock, they can. If not, it's cool too. It's kind of why I don't really like to do this a ton, but I figured I'd try it, see what happens. But we got 4 people in the chat. If y'all want to mock, the link is in the chat. So I'll go ahead and show. I mean, I guess that doesn't really do a whole lot, but we'll give it a few just to wait and see. But worst comes to worst, people say no. Kyler Murray, Rashee Rice, and then Travion Henderson in the Devy League off the board. Kyler at the 312. All right. We're getting real thin at quarterback real fast, by the way. Just wanted to throw that out there. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. I'm hoping we can get some more people. We only got 2 so far, so we'll give it, like I said, we'll give it about 5 minutes. If nothing happens, if nothing comes to fruition with it, then we will just go directly. This mock is ass. Bro. I don't even know who this is. But whatever. Somebody else, so. I don't know why he joined if he said it's ass, but I don't know why he said that, but hey, whatever. Let's see. We need 9 more teams. Hoping, like I said, we can get a few people to join, but if not, we'll just take it for what it is and go with it. It's kind of looking unlikely that we get anybody else to join. Let's see. I guess we'll see what happens. Since this guy kind of wants to be a dick, but hey, what do I know? What do I know? There's somebody. Need a few more. Need a few more. Are you Mr. Ghost King? Oh, nope, you're not Mr. Ghost King. All right, there's another one. All right, there's 5. Need a few more. Need a few more. Come on, fellas. 5 more. If we can get at least 10 of 12 or something, that's worth it. But I'm hoping that's what we can get, is at least 10 of 12. That's me, the Akupe. Akupe or Akupe. I don't know how to say your name. Let's see. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know why I got to go to my phone to see it, but Guess I do. We got 5 guys in here. We really need at least 8 or 9 to make this worthwhile. Being realistic here. Somebody laughed at it. I don't even know who that is. I don't know why anybody would laugh at that. But okay. Guess nobody likes Dynasty. I guess that's the reason. I don't really know. This dude's weird. Can we please get some people to mock? Let's see. There's another one. Oh, we only need a few more. You notice how everybody wants to be towards the back in these drafts, too? So we got 6. We need 6 more. If we can get 6 more. I would really like to get 6 more, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, I only need a few more. Let's see. I don't have quite the pull everybody else does when it comes to the streamers out there in the world. We'll get there one day. We'll get there. Oh, man. I was really hoping we'd get more people, but it's kind of not looking like a likely thing here. I posted it in a few Discords, but it's not looking likely that we can get any more people. I am trying, though. Let's see. Is there any other Discords that I'm in that can make sense? Oh, duh. Well, no, they're not really like Dynasty lovers. Never mind. I'm not going to invite that Discord. I don't think there's anybody else that I can like theoretically send an invite to. I'm not in any other Discords that like are Dynasty driven, so to speak. So this kind of stinks. I don't want to like stall out a bunch, so I'm trying, but it's just not really. It's not in the cards right now. Let's see. Is there anybody else? Dude said keep dreaming. I don't even know who that dude is. Let's see. Come on, man. We only need a few more people. Shit. It's cooked. I think it might be cooked, fellas. Just learned that Ron Washington's out. Man, motherfucker is sad. All right, man. I don't know that we're gonna get. I don't know that we're gonna get any more. I honestly don't know if we're gonna get any more. Start it up. I mean, dude, we have half the people. It's not even point. There's not even a point to do that. There's no point in even starting it if half the people aren't even here. Like, there's no point. This dude is weird. I don't even know who this guy is. I don't even know who that guy is. I mean, we can start it with 6, but just doesn't feel right. It's unfortunate though. Truly, it is. Crab, bro, what is your post, bro? I saw that. You're sad as shit. Genuinely. You are sad as shit. I just don't think we're gonna get enough. Yeah. I mean, it's either we start it or we just go back to drafters. Which, I mean, honestly, I'm cool with either one. I don't really want to start this with 6, but fuck it. We'll just do it. It's fine. Maple sugar on the clock. I don't even know if maple sugar is even here. Regardless, if we have at least all the people here, then we can at least make this somewhat feasible. If what's his face isn't here, then we might not even make this feasible. This shit might be cooked, fellas. Yeah, I'm just gonna scrap it because this is scrapped. All right, we're gonna go to drafters and do one more redraft and move on. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys use the code KG when signing up on drafters. They will match deposit dollar for dollar up to 100, and it helps me out as well. So I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, we can see it here. Okay. See, I did not know I could see this. Okay. So my exposures right now, Terrence Ferguson, 28%, Amarion Benson, 33%, Kyron, Justice Hill, Rashi Rice, 22%, Mitchell, 22, Loveland, 22, a lot of 22s. Judkins, we own quite a bit. Let's see. Not very many guys that we only have like one of, but we don't really have a ton of drafts on here, so makes sense as to why our exposures kind of look like they do. Hopefully we can get another drafters draft here pretty soon. 9 of 12. Yeah. We'll see. We can check our Devy League though. We could check that and see what's going on. See if anybody's made a pick yet. Outside of Travion Henderson. Nope, no picks have been gone down yet. So not a bad look so far. I mean, this guy took 2 Eagles, so that's just weird to me. I don't know why he would do that, but Saquon, AJ, like I just don't really get that, but it is what it is. Rashee Rice, Oaktown took my guy, Rashee Rice over Tet and Trav. So that's nice to see that, people are starting to steam up the Rashee Rice stuff. I get it. Makes sense. Hopefully like I said, we can get another drafters. Okay, we do get another drafters drafted. All right. Let's go ahead and do one more drafters draft here, and then we'll call it a night. So we got pick 11 in this one, totally opposite ends of the board. So of what we got last time. All right. The only thing I hate about drafters is like you gotta wait like all this time for it to start. I don't love that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm surprised nobody's taken any Devy picks yet, and send the link for what? Send the link for what? Oak for the referral. I think it's pinned. Is it not pinned? Should be pinned. Yeah, drafters code. Just use the drafters code. It's pinned. If that's what you're trying to do. It's pinned at the top. You got to use that and deposit into it and enter the next draft. Which I have a $2 draft right now. Going. Are you in the fast draft? The $2 drafters mini best ball is what I've been doing. The fast draft. You don't want to join the slow. I can join another fast. I don't know if I'll be able to do it on stream though, but because I want to at least do one of them. We got this one already going. Go to the slow draft room. I don't know if you use the link or not to sign up, but how long that takes. I don't know if you're into best ball or not, Oak, but that's kind of what we're doing. All right, Puka Nacua, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Saquon, Lamb, Jefferson, Chase. Off the board already. Neighbors is gone. CMC to the 109. This is about what I expect. I'm hoping they pass on the boring pick of Amon-Ra and let me get him. So I'll be happy if they do. And we might go completely opposite here of what we normally do. Maybe. That's just a big maybe. All right, so get Amon-Ra. It's pretty solid. I'll take Amon-Ra. Let's back out here. Let's see, we got 412 still. Takes a little bit of time to fill a room, so I don't know why that is on draft. It just does. Nico and Brian Thomas. We're gonna go ahead and take Devon Achane here. Yeah. We're gonna go a little bit different here. We're mixing it up. Usually I'd take London. I want Achane. See what happens. This guy goes Genty Henry. I don't love that start, but hey, not my team. So, good news for me. That is good news for me. Drake London goes at a little bit of a value to the McCaffrey team. Lad McConkey and Malik Neighbors, AJ Brown, Puka Nacua. AJ Brown, Puka, that's a fun two to have to start. Jahmyr Gibbs, T. Higgins, Bijan, Rashee Rice. That sounds fun. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson over Rashee Rice. Like, what world does that make sense? What world does Garrett Wilson finish above Rashee Rice? That's just my question. Like, I don't see a world where that happens this season. I don't. I don't see a world where that's a realistic outcome. Maybe that's just my optimism with Rashee Rice speaking, but I don't see it. I don't see a world that happens. I am, however, going to go get a drink real quick because I've been sitting here talking for an hour and 40 minutes. So let me go get a drink. I'll be right back. Give me just a second. All right. Didn't really miss a whole lot. Rashee Rice and Saquon Barkley. That's fun. That's extremely fun. That is extremely fun. I would love that start if I were him. 9 of 12 already filled. What we might do, we go back here, is tab that other draft whenever it starts, and then we can just tab back and forth. Do 2 drafts at once here. Kind of do the double draft going on. Chase, Brown, Bucky, Irving, CeeDee Lamb. All right. I don't know which one is you, Oak, but we are here and we are ready. Must be this B Boone 0821, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Al Bundy 33. Because this is both their first drafts, so maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Not really sure, but we got 2 rooms going here. So McBride off the board at 32. It seems like just such a discount. And this is what I'm talking about. Like the picks on the board here, you're taking one of these quarterbacks. You know you're doing that. So we're going to go ahead and smack Lamar at value here. Actually, no, we're going to go Josh at value here because I like Josh a little bit more. I'm in another room. Oh, you're in another room? You're not in this one? Did you not click the fast draft? Or what contest did you click? Did you click the $20 one maybe? Because there's only 2 contests. Like big contests anyways. Lamar Jackson off the board. We are going to go ahead and take do you want to go Evans or Smith? I think we're going to go Evans. Take Evans here. Not a bad pick. Not a huge Evans guy, but it works. Oh, wait. No. Here we go. $2 slow draft. Yeah, I don't like the slows. I don't love slow drafting on these sites. Just my personal preference. Okay. Wait, what? No. There we go. Okay. Me, the rookie mistakes. Hey, that's okay. I mean, you see, I accidentally entered one too, so I hate entering slow drafts because like on these sites they take forever and value goes away. Okay, we got a while before we gotta go to that one. All right. Let's see. We got Jacobs, Chase, Jefferson, Saquon, Bijan, CD. We're gonna go ahead and reach here because, like I said, I believe in this guy highly this season and for future seasons. So just as well believe in my guy and keep it going, keep it moving. Let's see. I do want to go full screen here like this for just a second because I gotta rearrange something here real quick. And I don't like y'all. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, going here. So let me put myself back up here. Okay. 2 totally different kind of spaces of the board here. You're gonna join another but fast draft. Yeah, it's it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Did you use the code? I'm rearranging something on my desk. Chill. Okay, so it did. Cool. I don't know what it does. Oh, okay. You got it. Okay, that's weird. I didn't know if the code worked or not because I had a problem with the first time I did it because the first time somebody signed up, it wouldn't let them use the code. So I had to contact Drafters support. And long story short, the guy tried to use a new user code on a thing that he's already made 400 deposits into. So I don't really know how he thought that was going to work. But hey, what do I know? I can only control so much. But yeah, if you're a new user on Drafters, you can use code KG and it'll match dollar for dollar up to 100. You can get in some $2 rooms and start drafting away. When you get that itch to want to draft and yeah, you don't got to manage your team or anything like that, this is where you go. So if you're a new user, welcome to Drafters. Cheap contests, and you don't have to manage these teams, which is even nicer. Malik Neighbors or Rashee Rice, we're just double clicking it. Love it, moving it on, keeping it moving. Taking Rashee Rice over Brock, yes, 110%. Not even thinking twice about it, to be quite honest, in a PPR format. Just not even going to think twice. What's nice, though, is are you in a draft right now, Oaktown? Because if not, I could join this and get in yours and have 3 of them going at once. If I really want to get crazy. Dude said, what is bro rearranging? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? We got a lot of tabs going. Fantasy Flock and Fast Draft? Yeah. Flock, I don't really use that a ton just because it's hard to get like lobbies and stuff. We're gonna go Judy here. I think I like Judy a lot. Makes a lot of sense to go Judy. I'm not a very big fan of the RBs here, but we are gonna probably take one anyways. Yeah, join it fast. Okay, I'll join it fast. We'll try to do this like 3. I'm not gonna say that word on stream. We're just gonna try to do 3. Just stop it at 3. You know what I mean? Not gonna say the sum word after that. You know. If you know, you know. You know. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, so we got Allen, H.N., Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, Jerry Jeudy. Let's go ahead and take Rome Odunze here. I want to make sure we get a piece of that Bears offense. One of the better pieces of it anyway, so to speak. Let's see. We have 4 of 12 already in. If you guys want to join this next draft, use the code, sign up, and, match for dollar. And you can almost max the contest. Dead ass. If you put in $100, they match 100. It's 200 of the 300 you need to max this contest. So you could literally almost draft. You could almost have 150 drafts into this lobby or into this contest. So that's big. That's huge. Okay. So we are 1 away. Lamar Jackson off the board. Okay. And you know what? Just for that, we're going to get a little unique myself here, and we're going to go Josh Allen off the board. Now look at my team. Josh Allen, Malik Neighbors, Rashee Rice. Not typically something I do, but get a little unique. I like it. I kind of like that guy's idea. I stole it. So, fight me. Fight me. I'll let Trey McBride slide. That's fine. I'll take Kittle next round. Fight me about it. But yeah, Flock Fantasy, like, it's okay for drafting, but like just sitting there drafting to draft. But this is where like people are redrafts, and you can actually get an ADP off of it a little bit. Big Josh Allen fan this year, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. But I'm a big Josh Allen fan every year, so it's kind of hard not to be until the guy either A, gets hurt, or B, shows that he's declining. I mean, kind of hard not to be a big Josh Allen fan, Very difficult. If y'all haven't already, hit the thumbs up on the stream. Helps promote my stream and get it out there. So if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all hit the like button. I know there was like 8 or 9 people in here earlier, so hopefully we can get some likes going. I know that I've only see like 3 likes right now, so hoping that you guys could just simply hit the thumbs up for me. That'd be greatly appreciated. Like I said, helps the algorithm and helps my channel get out there a little bit more. So the more you guys like it, the better, the more content I can bring. If that makes sense. So Josh Allen off the board. Malik Neighbors, Rashee Rice. We could look at DJ Moore. I mean, I'm okay with DJ Moore. I'd rather take Devontae Smith. I think he's a little bit better than DJ Moore, and we could try to get that come back to us. But I don't really know. Could take James Cook. We're gonna go James Cook. Actually, we're gonna do this Buffalo thing where we have James Cook and Josh Allen, and we capture all the groundwork that they possibly do. And I think it's not a bad play, because I don't think the Bills are necessarily a bad team to do that with. because James Cook catches some passes from Josh. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It captures a lot of the touchdowns from the offense. So we'll see what happens. It's a unique way to build. Because I don't think a lot of people get Josh Allen, James Cook on their team. And I think it's a very unique way to build Neighbors and Rice. So, you. hey, man. You build how you build. Because this is unique, too. In some capacity, it's unique. James Cook over any of those wide receivers? Hey, man. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with him. The only person I was considering taking is Devontae Smith. It was either Devontae Smith or James Cook. I think the correlation is a little better just to have, but I think it's an interesting correlation. So I think you can really buy into the Bills' offense being one of the best. We can get away with it. Let's see. So we have Josh Allen, Achane, Amon-Ra, Evans, Judy, Odunze. Is Khalil Shakir off the board? Shakir is off the board. Okay. So we'll probably have to go Keon Coleman. Golden falls to 79 here. I don't see any way I'm not taking Matthew Golden here, so we're just going to smack it and just go with it. Hopefully we can get Aaron Jones back to us. It's kind of the hope. I don't know that we will though. We'll see. It's not likely, but we'll see what happens. If not, I'm not a Brian Robinson fan this early. But there's really nobody else that I love. I hate this range in drafters. Like, it's an ugly range. It's a very, very ugly range, and I don't like it whatsoever. I don't really love Hawkinson. I don't really love Mooney. I don't really love Robinson. I don't really love any of these guys, honestly. Holy shit, we just got fucking bedazzled there. We got Aaron Jones, so that's good. Moving to the other draft, Sutton or Ridley. We're going to go Ridley in this one. Went Sutton in the other one, so we're going to go Ridley in this one. Because I like them both. Woo! Could have got Sutton once again at a discount. Decided not to. So we started Neighbors, Rice, Ridley, Cook, and Allen. Pretty solid start, I think, so far. So good. James Conner at pick 55. That feels early. Extremely early, actually. I don't know what his typical ADP is, and I don't know if it'll show us. No, it won't. But that feels extremely early. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just tweaking out and I don't know shit. But yeah, it's like a round and a half early for James Conner. I don't like that pick at all. Sutton off the board at pick 58. Almost pick 60 for Cortland Sutton. Amarion Hampton sitting there still at the turn. Pretty surprising. Not Cortland Sutton. James Conner over Amarion Hampton would be a no-go in my world. Ken Walker over Amarion Hampton would be a no-go in my world as well. So Golden going to be the highest fantasy producer out of all the rookie wide receivers in their first years. I don't agree with that. I think it's Tet. Tet's number one. Golden. I think Golden's probably. I think Golden's 3 in their first year. I still think Travis can beat him, but it's close. It's close. Mixon off the board. If Harvey falls all the way back to us, we're going to be ecstatic. If Harvey falls to us, we're going to be ecstatic. We're going to feel really good about waiting. One more pick. Come on. I'm okay with taking Harvey at 67. Not okay taking Harvey in the 5th. I'm okay with taking him in the 6th. I'm not okay taking him in the 5th. If we don't get Harvey, we're probably just going to go Travion and move on. Actually, Olave's sitting right here. Olave's staring at me in the face right now. Well, that's probably the order of which we want these guys. Chris Olave, then Harvey. And he takes Pearsall. So we're going to go Chris Olave, I think. Let's see. Let's look at these other teams. He's got 3 running backs. He doesn't even have one. He has 1. He has 1. He has 2. Actually, no. We're going Harvey. Harvey makes a lot more sense for this team. We can come back around and get a Shakir later. That's fine with me. We can get Shakira on the way back, hopefully. Because at least this guy and this guy are probably going to take one RB. This guy might take an RB still. This guy's probably not going to. This guy's probably not going to. So. Olave off the board. Doesn't surprise me. I mean, that honestly does not shock me. Oh, shit. Draft. Oh, fuck. Okay. We're pick 8 in this one. Not bad. I mean, we got it going for us a little bit. So we got 3 drafts going on right now. Like I said, we're keeping y'all actively engaged tonight. So if y'all are enjoying the content, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. Helps me out quite a bit. So it'd be greatly appreciated. All right. Is Keon Coleman off the board already? Yep, Keon Coleman's gone too. Okay. Well, that kind of sucks. I'm going to take Mr. Jack of all trades here. Mr. Evan Ingram. I've been taking him quite a bit in drafts. I think Evan Ingram is extremely mispriced. But maybe I just don't know anything and I need to just shut my mouth. Because that could be the case too. I am all in on Tracy over Scattaboo. I think Etienne's going to start this year. The more I'm been looking at it, I'm probably going to go Tracy though. I like Tracy a little bit more. We're 1 pick away. Let's see. I guess we're going to smack Neighbors again. I love smacking me some Malik Neighbors. Never going to say no to that. All right, we got 1 more pick. Did we get it right? We nailed it pretty much for the most part. Shakir, come to Papa. We will be buying the Bills offense with this one. We have Josh, Cook, and Shakir. I really like what we're doing on this team. We have Neighbors, Rice, Ridley, Shakir, Harvey, Cook, and Josh Allen. Really like what we ended up getting there on the board with this build, actually. And it's a little bit unique. So, do like what we ended up with there. Hunter's going to be mid, and Igbuka's got to wait his turn. I don't even know if Igbuka's going to have to wait. He's probably going to play over McMillan. Godwin's a slot guy, so Igbuka could be out there week 1, starting next to Evans. Do I think he's going to get a ton of volume? No, but I think he can. I don't think that matters for him 100%. I don't think he's really a volume kind of guy. Godwin's going to be in the slot if he's available day 1. If not, Igbuka slides right in and McMillan plays the other outside. And Igbuka plays the slot. Igbuka is kind of one of those guys that can kind of move around. So that's good news for them. Let's see. I think we're going to go Achane here. Neighbors Achane, that's a fun little start. Fun upside start. Swing for the fences, as they say. Some might say that I'm swinging really deep for the fences. Others might say I'm not swinging deep enough, Just have to see. I don't think we're getting any more picks in the Devy League, but it's kind of unfortunate because I kind of wanted to keep drafting in that tonight, but it is what it is. Got all day tomorrow, so. We're probably not going to finish this draft on stream. We'll probably finish these 2 on stream and call it a night. Well, I'm going to be up drafting them anyways. I just as well finish them on stream. So why not? Why not? I appreciate everybody who left some likes tonight. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in for the night. Really appreciate it. First stream back on YouTube. So I kind of like the streams on YouTube a little bit more. They're a lot vibier, so to speak. I do think that they're a lot more interactional for this audience. So I do think YouTube streams will be coming back a little bit more often than Twitch streams. I like Twitch streams too. I still like my Twitch streams. Never give those up 100%, but yeah, I think these are interesting. Who took Mahomes? Okay, he took Mahomes and Hawk. All right. So this is where I just don't like to be. Jaden Reed's like the last guy here that I want. So we're just going to take Jaden Reed and keep it moving. Take a running back a little later. We got good running backs already, so I do appreciate the fact that I have good running backs at least. We have Bashal Tootin, Luther Burden, Marvin Mims, Jordan Love. I don't love these choices here. Ray Davis kind of blends in here as an obvious cuff pick with the offense that we've already made the investment into. Kind of makes sense here to do that. Let's see. We are up over here. Luther Burden is an interesting one. I'm not really huge on him, but Bashal Tootin, good upside play, another swing for the fences kind of play like Devon Achane was. So I'm okay doing that as long as it makes sense. Josh Jacobs, that's a big value. I'll take it and run with it. I'm not usually the type to take a couple running backs, but I do think it's a good value and it's something that's worthy of taking. Once again, I think we should go receiver here or Kincaid and take a little bit of a reach. I think we're going to go Kincaid. It makes sense to go Kincaid, pair him up with Josh, keep things moving on that stacking. Get at least one of the guys' weapons with Josh. I think it just makes sense to do that, especially if you are drafting somebody like Josh and buying into that offense. I do think you need at least one of his weapons. You don't need all of them, but you need some of them. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Hopefully we get Ayuk here and we can keep the draft going. It's kind of the hope. Let's see what happens. Mason off the board. We're going to go ahead and draft Ayuk with pick 102, which, by the way, that is the lowest I've ever seen Ayuk be. He just keeps dropping, and I get it, but I'm not there. And I definitely 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 receivers. And if he can return top 15 value and play week 1, that'd be huge. I mean, if we get the news that he's going to play week 1, you will see his ADP go up at least 20 or 30 spots. If we get that news, I mean, we saw it with Rashee Rice, right? Rashee Rice was a 4th-round pick in drafters, 3rd-round pick in Underdog, and now he's a 2nd-round pick in Underdog and a 3rd-round pick in drafters, almost 2nd round. I dang near would take him in the 2nd round over Garrett Wilson, over Marv, over Higgins. I'd take Rashee Rice over those guys right now as it stands. So it's kind of hard for me not to sit up here and talk about how good he is. This is the hard range because I don't know how I feel about these guys. I genuinely don't know how to feel. I think Jaden Daniels is a fun click, but I also don't think he's a worthy click. I'm going to go ahead and click Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith is a fun play. I think he's a guy that didn't see a lot of volume last year in their throwing offense. I think that changes this upcoming year. Saquon can't handle that volume again. I mean, he can, but I just don't think that they will do that. And even if they do that again, Devontae Smith is a very good receiver as far as staying on the field and having spike weeks and good things like that. Lots of good things you want to see out of Devontae Smith. I just feel like even though he is not the receiver 1 on his team, it's a very concentrated offense, so it makes a lot of sense to take him where he's going, and especially over the guys that are there. DK, I'm not very big fan of. The move with Aaron Rodgers definitely helped with DK Metcalf, me moving him up my board a little. I think he's ahead of Jameson. I think he's ahead of Moore. But I also think Devontae Smith is ahead of those guys. I think Devontae Smith is ahead of DK. I think Sutton's ahead of these guys too. So, there's some value there that I think is misvalued right now, and drafters especially. So, that's kind of where it's at. Where I'm at, anyways, with a lot of these guys. 1 pick away. We have Josh. We have Shakir. We have Cook. Did we get Odunze in this draft? No, we did not. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take ETN here at a value of 109. Huge value there for ETN. I think that's a really good value. I think Etienne is, like I said, the starting guy there day one. I don't know that he'll lose that job, and I don't really have any reasons to think he will. Honestly, I don't see it happening, but it could. Never gonna say never. Definitely could, but I don't see it happening. Just me personally. So take that for what it is. Three away, five away, six away. Go ahead and get to the three away and see what's going on here. So we got 1, 4, 5, 2. We're probably done at tight end to the last round. Do we want to get our second quarterback or not? I'm thinking no for now. CJ's still there. Stafford's there. We don't have Goff. Stroud's gone. Okay. We could go Stafford. I'm going to go ahead and wait and take one more click at wide receiver and go ahead and take a Jalen McMillan pick here. Actually, no, we're going to take an Adam Thielen pick here. We're going to take an Adam Thielen, thinking he maybe has one more year left in him, and see what happens with it. All right, so we got Devontae Smith. Oh, who we got next? Here we got next. Travis, Waddle, Jennings. Travis Hunter getting him at pick 50. That feels like a discount, an extreme one that I'm not going to get very often. Marion, we're getting a lot more on this platform. So we're going to go ahead and take Travis as a third receiver just to see what happens with it. And then here we are also going to go see Detroit, Cleveland, Chicago. We're going to go ahead and take Matt Stafford here as our second quarterback. And then let's see. We have 1, 3, 6. Okay. So let's go ahead and take Tyler Warren as an upside play here at our tight end 1. And then we can take Kincaid as another tight end a little bit later. And then we kind of have the Bills offense that we really want. I think Warren's a very high upside play, especially Daniel Jones is going to be the guy. He definitely feels like the guy already. Even if Anthony Richardson is the starting quarterback, I don't know how long he holds that spot. For me personally, I'm kind of out on Anthony Richardson, or trying to get out of him if I have him anywhere, which I do have him in one dynasty league right now, and he's my QB2, and Tyler Shuck's my QB3, and that's a little rough. I won't lie. So it's a little rough, but we'll figure it out. We are going to figure it out at some point. So we get Travis Hunter at a discount, pretty big one at that. Olave is on the board. Judy's on the board. Godwin's on the board. I think we're going to go Olave here in a bounce back year. I do think he's a very entertaining receiver. Let's see. Yeah. We're going to go with Chris Olave. And I really like Chris Olave a lot. I'm a big Chris Olave fan. Always have been. I think his talent profile is off the charts. The guy was better than Garrett Wilson at Ohio State. And I also think that he is a guy that has just been extremely unlucky in his career so far. I think that luck can change. And I do feel like that's something that should be turning around soon. And why not sooner rather than later? It's kind of how I feel about it. But, oh, man, sometimes people just stay unlucky. So it is kind of one of those things. Dalton Kincaid could buy the whole offense if you want. It's an option. What other quarterbacks are left? Tua, Bryce. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just buy the whole offense here. So we got Josh, Shakir, Cook, and Kincaid. We have the whole offense on this team. We have the whole Bills offense with Neighbors, Rice, Ridley, Reed, Ayuk, Harvey, Etienne. I like this. I haven't been drafting a lot of Travis Hunter, as I said previously. I think he's too expensive most of the time. But at the price that I got him for, I'm okay with taking the chance of him paying off. So let's see. Like I said, I don't think we're getting any more picks in this tonight, unfortunately. So we got 2-4. We got 2 stud running backs, which I feel good about. Let's go ahead and take our Josh Downs pick here that we also dearly belovedly love to take. Because I do think it is going to be Daniel Jones. And I think he's a really good pick here. 4 RBs, we probably need to go with a 5th RB. If we can get Rico Dowdle, that'd be great. Of course, he goes off the board as soon as we want to get him. Nick Chubb off the board as well. Oh, man. We might have to go ahead and smack another receiver and take Keenan Allen. I think we're just going to do it. Go ahead and smack Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen's going to get picked up by a team soon. And when he does, once again, ADP is going to shoot up depending on where he goes, just like J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins rose like 5 rounds whenever he signed with Denver. I mean, that feels like a really good bet to take right now. Bryce Young is a fun one. I think we're going to take Bryce and keep it moving. Yeah, we're going to take Bryce. Take Bryce Young. We can pair him up with tight end later. And Jatavion Sanders, or we could get one of his receivers. I'm not too opposed to doing that, so nothing too crazy. Mason Taylor. See, we need running backs desperately. I think we're going to go Miles Sanders. I don't love the Miles Sanders pick, but it is one that I kind of feel like I'm in there making right now. Let's see. B-Rob, I don't really need him. Mooney would be nice. We're going to go Mooney, I think, here. Yeah, we're going to take Mooney. Mooney or Pittman? Mooney or Pittman? Let's go Mooney. Mooney's a fun pick because I feel like they have a lot of good receivers. And I feel like they're going to be a better offense as a whole this year. Looking at the picks here that we have, we can pair up Travis and Trevor. We have Penix and Mooney. We have some options. Tua and Achane, which Tua and Achane actually makes a lot of sense to do. Like Lawrence and Tua later. And then like take a third quarterback in like the Colts and see if you can go Daniel Jones and pair him up with Downs. That seems to make a lot of sense for this for a little later, obviously. But it seems to make a lot of sense to me to do that. But yeah, we have a 6 receiver build here already, 2-6, and this is typically how I like to draft. Anyways, let's get these 2 really hero-ish RBs and kind of bank on them being good this season, staying healthy, which Achane is pretty good at doing. Jacobs is pretty good at doing too. Both Jacobs has got a lot of miles on the tires. So it's kind of hard for me to feel great about him, but I kind of don't feel like he's a bad pick. I've never felt that way about him. He's one of those guys that, like, he's easy to click. He doesn't really hurt you a ton, usually. Typically, he doesn't hurt you a ton. But, yeah. Anyway, Xavier Legette probably going to be the next pick off the board for me. We only have 3 RBs, and they're not too terribly impressive. So actually, we might go Roshan if he's still there. Roshan off the board. All right. Never mind. We're not going to go tank. We're just going to keep playing where our strength is. We're going to go Xavier Legette and keep it moving. We'll probably get some running back here soon. Like I said, in a PPR format, I don't really think that these guys are like do or die. Like you have to get them. I'm not a big Tank Bigsby guy. I already have Travis Etienne. It doesn't make much sense to go Bigsby if you're already making the bet on Etienne. It doesn't really make much sense. So unless Tank just falls so far that like I can't say no. Like if he falls all the way back to me and we're getting him 20 picks past ADP, then maybe it makes sense. But that's the only way that really makes a ton of sense to do. Let's see. We got Purdy that we could take, which we're not going to take. We could do Purdy, though. That makes a lot of sense to do. Any 49ers over here? Kittle or... Yeah, there's one Kittle and Jennings. So he's probably looking to go Purdy. So we'd have to take Purdy now if we're going to do it. No, we've already established that we're not going to. We've already established that we're not going to. Take Ayuk. So now we are done at receiver. We are totally done at receiver at this team. We don't even got to look at receivers anymore. Quarterback-wise, Lawrence, Tua, Penix makes some sense. Way later, Daniel Jones makes sense. Let's see. There he is. Okay. So for now, we are probably going to take Andrews at the 109 discount if we can get it. But Keaton Mitchell, Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford probably makes some sense here for early on in the season. Jalen Wright is a guy that I really like. Rico is another guy I really like. We're going to go Jalen and move on. Another kind of tight end room thing that we're going to do here. Let's see, is this the last round? Not even close. We can go another running back then. We're good to go running back here. Let's go ahead and take Keaton Mitchell as a guy that can maybe provide something for us. One away over here. Let's kind of take a peek here. Rashad Bateman off the board. All right, so now this is where we really need to take a peek in our running back room. Once again, I'm going to buy the Tracy hype and kind of see kind of where this goes. We're going to go Tyrone Tracy. I think Tracy's a guy that's extremely undervalued at the moment, and I don't really know why. I think he's the lead back there. I don't know that it's going to be Scatabo. I don't think it's going to be Scam Scatabo, but I've been wrong before, so. And I probably won't be the last time I'm wrong either. If we get Justice Hill here, that'd be great. Once again, last round, Terrence Ferguson's kind of what we're... Or no, this is Jatavion Sanders last round. It's kind of what we're looking to get here. Go ahead and take Justice Hill. Yeah, I mean, this feels like a pretty good team. I mean, genuinely. We have Josh, Bryce, Cook, Harvey, Etienne, Wright, Hill, Neighbors, Rice, Ridley, Shakir, Reed, Ayuk, Leggett, Warren, and Kincaid. I mean, you bought the Bills offense. You're buying Carolina pieces to pair up with Bryce. I feel like this is a really good... You have good receivers overall at the top here. You have pretty good running backs here. You just need to hope Cook and Harvey can pan out. Etienne ends up leading that backfield. If he does, you should be good. If not, well, it wasn't meant to be. Justice Hill could probably provide you some weeks. Jalen Wright can provide you some weeks. A lot of decency there. I think this team here is going to come down to Trevor Lawrence being good, with having a better coordinator, having better offense as a whole with Travis Hunter, and better scheming. I think there's going to be a lot better scheming going on in this team. So that helps quite a bit in the confidence of those guys. Oaktown takes Etienne. I mean, maybe he believes the same thing I do with Etienne. At 122, I would definitely be taking Etienne. Yeah. I think that's way too cheap. Caleb is getting way too cheap. You might take Caleb as a Caleb Williams and, Luther Burden or Colston Loveland or something like that. Like, that would be something I could do if it falls to me. I don't think it will, but if it does, something you could do. CJ's off the board. Like I said, there's no Bears guys here except this team. So this team could do it, but he's already got two quarterbacks, so it doesn't really make sense for him to do. So it could fall all the way back to me that we get Caleb. If we get Caleb, that'd be interesting. But he goes Caleb, so he's probably thinking the same thing I am, but he's got Bowers. I don't know. We'll see. we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens because we're done at receiver. 110%. We're done with receiver with this team. Tajay Spears, maybe. Herbert, we're not going. Herbert's a no. We're just gonna reach on Trevor and make sure we get him. I think kind of how we're gonna play that. Devin Neal, Ty Johnson, Isaiah Davis. We could go. Let's go ahead and go Ty. Dylan. And then let's see. We're going to go ahead and reach on Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is off the board. Okay. I guess this guy's in the stream. I don't know. Shit. Go ahead and take Tootin. I clicked. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. I thought I clicked the wrong button. I was like, no. Anyway, let's see. Last round, take Terrence Ferguson. All right. So we got our team. Pretty fun one. I think, anyways. We'll see what happens with that team. 8 running backs. So at the top, starting from the top, we have Monroe, Achane, Josh, Evans, Judy, Odunze, Golden, Aaron Jones, Evan Ingram, Tyrone Tracy, Tootin, Kincaid, Thielen, Stafford, Keenan, Sanders, Ford, Mitchell, Ty Johnson, Terrence Ferguson. Pretty solid team overall, I would say. 20 rounds thing really helps with these drafts, in my opinion. Makes your teams look a lot better. Let's see. All right. God, that Trevor Lawrence pick really sucks because it was a reach too, and he doesn't have anybody from the Jags. I don't know what he's doing, but I want to make sure that I get somebody. And Herbert falling this much makes no sense not to take. So we're just going to take him, and we'll take Johnston maybe. I don't know. I think Herbert just by himself is worthy of a pick there. If he's naked Herbert, that's fine. If that's what it has to be, it's what it has to be. You know, Tua's already off the board. My plan just blew up in my face because Tua went over Herbert for some odd reason because he's got Reek. I guess I don't really understand the whole thing here, but blew up in my face. So if we get Penix, we get Penix with Mooney. You know, it's fine. I mean, Drake London's on this side of the board, so that might happen to where we get Penix and Herbert, and then maybe we get Daniel Jones. I mean, it's kind of a different QB room than what we wanted, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to adjust on the fly, keep it fluent. Let's see. We could use another running back, so we're going to take another running back. We have Jalen Wright already winning that battle. We're going to go Corum. Get a piece of the Rams. I like Corum quite a bit. I think Corum is a slight better pick than Hunter right now. I think Hunter is a little bit too expensive for what he is. So I've been taking Corum quite a bit. Probably going to go Penix here if we can. Not realistically what we wanted to end up with, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Penix could be good. I'm okay with taking this chance. Like I said, not really exactly how we wanted this team to go down, but it works. We definitely wanted to pair Travis and Lawrence. But, learning curve here is nothing ever goes to plan in these drafts, in these rooms. Never does. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. You got an outstanding receiver room. Tight ends, you haven't taken one yet. So, this is where I try to get my guys start up because we want to make sure we get them. kind of put them in order here. Try to keep them in kind of orderly fashion. All right. Let's see. Somebody took Jatavion Sanders. Who the fuck did that? Dude. Ugh. Okay. I guess we just go to old reliable last round. Probably need another running back more than we need a receiver. We're going to go Elijah Mitchell or Devin Neal. Devin Neal. I like Devin Neal. Devin Neal's a fun click. Rookie click that we can actually justify somewhat. Up in 4 picks. Ferguson off the board. Kincaid off the board. Strange off the board. See what happens here. Geno off the board. Can't believe we're going back to this train, but we are. Kyle Pitts, welcome to the team as our tight end 1. Pray to God you figure something out this year, but I don't have much confidence in that. But, you know, is what it is. Is what it is. Is what it is. Zach Ertz off the board. Put Muth and Mason at the top of our queue here. We'll see what happens. I mean, the worst comes to worst, you know. It's the same old Kyle Pitts. Has some up games, has some down games. Hopefully he has more ups than downs, but more than likely he's not gonna. So. Hunter Henry off the board. Gesicki. A lot of the tight ends getting clicked. Which makes sense. That's what the range is, pretty much. Bunch of tight ends. I mean, if QJ drops to 176, I don't really have a choice but to click him, right? Like, I don't really have much of a choice there but to click that guy. As ugly as it might be, yeah, QJ goes off the board. I kind of figured he was going to go off the board after I started talking about him, but there's no way that guy should have lasted that long, but he did. So can't really get mad at it. Algiers still there too. Oh man, that's who I wanted my second tight end to be. Fuck. Ah man, that really sucks. I really wanted Freiermuth to be my second tight end, dude. Damn it. Shit. All the stable guys are gone. That really sucks. Okay. Let's go Algier. Add more into the Atlanta offense, because why not? Buy into it. Lean into it. Lean with it. Rock with it, as they might say. I don't know why Elijah Royal over Terrence Ferguson. I'm clicking Terrence Ferguson like every time. I'm not an Elijah Arroyo guy, I guess. 2873, again, one of my favorite builds in drafters is getting the 2873 because you can just click running backs a lot and figure it out and hope to God one of them hits. And receivers, you already have your guys. So, you know, take that for what it is. We have 5 rounds left in this draft, and then we are going to call it a night. So, pretty good teams that have been drafted overall so far. We've been bouncing back and forth most of the night. Appreciate everybody who's hung out with us all night tonight. If you've gotten this far, comment down below KG. So I know you have made it 2 hours and 34 minutes into the stream, which is pretty freaking phenomenal, if you ask me. We'll try to kind of section this out to where it's like draft 1, draft 2, draft 3, draft 4. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it, but we'll try. I don't know how to do it, so once again, that might be something I have to look at after the fact. So I don't know what this does. We'll see. We'll see what this stuff does afterward. So, but yeah, I appreciate everybody who's hung out tonight. It's been a good little stream. So we are up on next on the clock, and I guess we're just gonna have to go big or go home at tight end because Mason Taylor and Kyle Pitts is a tight end room of upside only. There is no safety at all with that. But hey, you got Herbert, you got Penix, you got Achane, Jacobs, Tracy Tootin, Algier. You're shooting for the moon with Tootin anyways, so Tracy too. The receiver room, you got Neighbors, Smith, Trav, Olave, Downs, Mooney. You got a lot of moon shooters here. So maybe something sticks. And you get some moon shots. You get some moon shots, all the dominoes fall the right way, and here you are. Sitting here with Kyle Pitts and Mason Taylor. Snapping off big weeks. Mason Taylor looking like the next Sam Laporta, maybe. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know. The opportunity's there. I just don't think Justin Fields seizes that opportunity very much. But, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I very easily could be wrong here. But I have a feeling I'm more right than wrong on this one. I'm not a big fan of the tight end room that fell to us here. I was hoping Freiermuth would be my tight end too. Didn't happen. I knew taking Kyle Pitts was a risk to pair up with Penix and Mooney. Knew it was a risk. I took the chance. Rolled the dice. Sometimes those dice land on red when you call red. Sometimes it lands on black when you call black. Never know. You just have to live with it and move on. It is what it is. It is what it is. You live with it, you move on, and you keep on keeping on. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Mizorowski was perfect until he gave up one home run in the 6th. Mizorowski, what a pitcher. That guy's a stud. Glad I picked him up in my dynasty or my baseball league. Fantasy baseball league. Even though I'm in dead last in my fantasy baseball league. For the first time ever. I'm usually top 2. I've been top 2 for 7 years straight. And this year I've been hit with injuries left and right and up and down. So I've been kind of going through it. But we get through. We rise through. We rise through. Just like best ball drafts. We rise through it. I mean, dude, I think one more running back and you just draft you click 3 tight ends at the end. You might just start clicking tight ends now, to be quite frank with you. Let's see. Kate Otten, click him. Not a bad click. I think he's a decent click. I think Ferguson's a good click. I think Theo is an okay click. But I think Ferguson's the best click left. I think you can still go running back. Quarterbacks. There's really nothing here worth a shit to look at, to be honest. A-Rich, I'm not really huge on him. I mean, I get he's going to be healthy for training camp, but I don't know, man. You can pair him with Downs, pair it that way. That's something I might do, actually. Once again, just full-on upside here. Because if A-Rich is the starting quarterback, he has the rushing upside. And I think Downs is the best receiver in that room. So I think it could pay off, but it's just not really a pick I love. Nobody really loves clicking Anthony Richardson right now. And I get why, because I'm also in that crowd. But it makes sense for this team to do. Because you have a naked Herbert. You have Penix with everybody in the Atlanta offense, not named Bijan and Drake, pretty much. So you have all the secondary weapons of Penix. So you're hoping Penix is a guy who can kind of spread the ball around, which I don't know how confident I am in those bets. I'd rather take a shot on A-Rich to be rushing, because at least if A-Rich is in, I know he's going to be a rushing upside, and Mike could be able to compete with QB1s because he's done it. But it's extremely inconsistent. So it's part of best ball, though. Extremely inconsistent. Dante Thornton, I like that pick a lot. Probably going to get A-Rich here. He has Alec Pierce, so he might go with him. He's already got 3 quarterbacks. There's no way he goes a 4th, yeah. We'll click A-Rich at 209. I think it's makes some sense to do. I think tight end, last pick here. Last pick, and then maybe one more running back makes sense. Definitely receiver doesn't make much sense to do. I think Sampson's a good click. Let's see. Is there another guy that I'm just totally missing on that might be like a really good pick? I don't really think so. I don't think there's much of a chance any of these guys are really like amazing picks down this low. Sampson's off the board. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really anybody there that makes a lot of sense. Zach Moss, Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon might not be a bad pick. Terrence Ferguson. Oaktown, taking my guy because he's in the stream. Don't love to see that. Taking him 2 rounds earlier than I normally get him. Hate you. I don't love that. I do not love that whatsoever. Don't love that one, but hey, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. We just keep moving. We just keep moving. Taysom Hill, maybe. Let's see. He's gonna miss. I don't love that, but Roman Wilson, another guy I get last click on boards. Kind of like that pick too. Oaktown taking the dynasty guys that are kind of my last round clicks here. I don't love that. I do not love that. Maybe we take another upside swing and a Rondé Gadsden and just see what happens. See how creative they get with him. Or we just take the Will Disley play and just kind of go safe. You know, I don't really know. Don't really know. Don't really know. I still think Elijah Royal's probably the best upside swing to take here. Conklin is also on the Chargers. So that's interesting. I think we're going to go Arroyo. So it just makes more sense to go Arroyo here for my team specifically here. We'll take one more running back. Shit. Probably going to go one of these 2 guys, and it's probably going to be either Ollie or Zach. Probably going to be Zach Moss. Just because Chase Brown still might not be 100% secure in that lead back. I think he is, but maybe not. There's a chance Ollie Gordon doesn't even sniff the field. At least I know Zach Moss is going to sniff the field. Adonai Mitchell, that's a great pick. Calvin Austin. I like the A.D. Mitchell pick. I think A.D. Mitchell has potential to potentially be the best receiver on the Colts this year. Him and Downs. So A.D. Mitchell right now feels like a stash because they haven't really given him much of a chance. But I think a new coaching regimen could help him. Or just simply Daniel Jones being the quarterback, which is not the bet I'm making in this one. So Zach Moss being the final pick here feels like storied. You know, feels like a story pick. Could be Corum. I'm not gonna click Corum because I usually click Corum, but I'm not gonna do that. Not this time. Like Zach Moss. All right, and that's the team. So we got Herbert, Penix, Richardson, Devon Achane, Josh Jacobs at a value, Tracy Tootin, Algier at a huge value. Zach Moss, Malik Neighbors, Devontae Smith, Travis Hunter at a big value, Olave at a value, Downs, Darnell, Ayuk at a big value, Pitts, Mason Taylor, Auten at a value, and Elijah Arroyo rounded things out in the tight end room. Hopefully we get enough at tight end in this one. We'll see. But that is going to do it for me. Like I said, 2 hours, 45-minute stream, pretty long stream. Drop a like if you enjoyed what you saw tonight. I did show you guys a little bit of Devy drafts. Just to recap, some of the Devy draft that I've been doing. We had 4 drafters drafts tonight. And we also did a super flex on Underdog as well. Bits and pieces of that. So if you guys want to check that out, it's in the video as well. So appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Until next time, I'm off here. I'll see y'all later. Peace.